What's up, boys and girls? I made a lot of mistakes throughout my bodybuilding career, training as hard as I could every single workout, with the badge of honor being I needed to go in there and absolutely crush every workout. And I know a lot of you guys are living that life too, and it's not a good place to be. It's not going to ensure long-term progress and results. For most of you, it's actually probably the thing preventing you from getting progress. So if you're someone who's sitting at home now going, man, I wish I worked harder, I need to work harder, working hard is not your greatest solution for building weak body parts, I promise. So I sat at home stressed, or I got into the gym stressed all the time, just thinking, man, like, why can't I work as hard as some of these other guys? And looking back on it, it's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, attaching myself to having to be the hardest working guy in the gym. And I'm gonna explain why. Before working hard benefits you, you need to make sure you're running in the right direction, you're doing the right thing. So there's a few things, a few simple strategies each of you should be applying to maximize your ability to build a weak body part. So as many of you know, throughout my career, I had many really strong body parts and I had a few really weak ones because I didn't understand how to build those body parts. I attached, I'm just gonna lift heavier, I'm just gonna work harder like many of you are doing. And that got me nowhere except really, really sore joints, which again, a lot of you are probably living that life too. So there's a few simple things you need to do to maximize your muscle in your upper body and lower body. So here's what it is. If you're trying to build any part of your upper body, the first and most important thing you need to be doing is isolating that muscle and ensuring you're providing a stable platform for that muscle to contract. You can't fire a cannon from a canoe is a quote you hear often at the Mi40 gym. And one of the things you see, if you look around the gym today when you guys go and train, you're gonna see so many people moving a lot of things, a lot of different muscles. They're getting a lot of extraneous movement involved. You literally can't fire a muscle maximally when you have extraneous movement involved. So let's imagine I have a rope in this hand. And this rope, both ends are moving. How much tension is being created in that rope? Zero. If I have one end anchored in stone and I pull with this end, what happens? I can actually generate some force in that muscle. So the first thing I want you guys to do is learn how to set up an exercise and then stabilize. So once you've learned how to set up for your body type, which keep in mind is very different than mine, and I've just had another video on YouTube about exactly how to set up each exercise for your body type and how they're so different from me and everybody else. Once you've done that, stabilize. So firing something from a stable platform is going to be so much more effective and efficient to contract every body part. So when it comes to upper body, the most important thing you need to be stabilizing, two things: scapula, core. If my spine is moving, no, I'm not gonna be able to fire my muscles maximally. If my scapula is moving, which I know every one of you is moving your scapula, you're not getting maximum efficiency, whether it be at your pecs, your lats, your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps, any of them. Literally, if you're getting extraneous movement at those body parts, stuff like this, when you're doing it, when doing bench presses, you're not able to anchor the muscle that originates on the scapula hard enough to be able to contract the other end. When it comes to the lower body, pelvis. If your pelvis is unstable in any way, you're not contracting muscle hard. So if you're someone who attaches to, I have tight hamstrings or I have tight hips, you literally cannot produce maximum force in your hamstrings. Tightness is a sign of weakness. Tightness is also a sign of instability. What happens when you walk on ice? Your brain tightens up. It goes, oh no, I don't want to do this. So by providing some stability to your pelvis, now your pelvis will allow you to have more mobility and thereby more strength. So if you really want to build world-class legs, which is a thing I tend to know a little bit about, the most important thing is learning how to stabilize your pelvis. And some basic things you can do: pelvic floor activations, transverse abdominis, abdominal training, paying attention to deep methodical breathing. Those things are very, very important in weak body part development. And the final thing is not attaching to how often or how much volume. That's a big mistake, right? A lot of people say, hey man, if you want to get a bigger body part, you need to do more, or you need to do more often. Is that the truth? Doing the wrong thing more and more and more, is that going to help me get a better result? No, I need to do the right thing, and then I need to do it more and more and more. And that's what everyone is missing. They're missing that first step. You have to learn how to read. You need to learn how to write before you can write a novel. So you need to learn how to do something foundational, something very, very basic, which is contract the muscle in isolation before it makes sense to increase frequency or increase volume. So hopefully you guys can start to grasp the steps necessary to build a weak body part. So here's what I want you to think about. Learn how to set up for your body. And again, I've got some videos attached, linked in the bottom of this one if you want to check those out, exactly how to set up for your body type. Once you've learned to set up, you got to stabilize. You absolutely got to stabilize. You got to lock your body in stone. And the act of not moving is going to be one of the hardest skills you're going to attain in your life, because you're going to realize your body is meant for survival and your body's trying to move a weight. So you have to remove the conscious attachment to moving a weight and shift the conscious attachment to contracting a muscle. We don't move weights, we contract muscles. Moving from there, you're going to initiate with the working muscle. This is going to be so essential to your success. If something else initiates the movement, the muscle I'm trying to work isn't getting maximum amount of work. It's so important. And then once we've mastered those 3 steps, moving on to learn how to manipulate the frequency and volume then becomes your greatest opportunity for progress. But again, progressive overload, putting more weight on the bar, does not mean the muscle I'm working gets more work. It means my body's going to disperse more load. So breaking your attachment to the thought of progressive overload until you've reached the ability to unconsciously activate these muscles. So if you want to learn to set up for your body type, check the link and I'm going to hook you up with a video for every single body part so you know how to do it for your body. Have an awesome day. Live your greatness.